When was the last time you think you watched this much tape for an Islam fight?
Never.
Really?
Never.
Wow.
I never watched tape by Islam fight. Never. This is the first time because I respect this guy that much, and he's a puzzle. He's not that easy. I'm telling you, he's not that easy. So we'll get him, and I have to be confident that we'll get him, because if I don't, then what's the point of watching the videos, right? We can't get him. No, we'll get him. It's just very difficult because he's so damn good.
Like, I knew that the kicks would be coming. I even remember when he was going to the body, I'm like, head kick's coming. But then afterwards, you're like, all right, it's a no-brainer. But you see me straight after that fight that's where I was, concussion as well.
Was it from the kick or for the punch when he came on top of you?
Yeah, it would have been the kick. A shin to the dome like that. Like, that's like proper contact to the brain. You know what I mean? That's proper trauma to the brain, direct brain trauma. You hit the chin and it rattles. Yeah. This was bang and like direct contact.
Were you lights out?
No, it wasn't that. Like, you could see me. I remember hearing it was like, I was cross-eyed because everything was just everywhere. And weird noises. I couldn't defend my hands just wouldn't do what it wanted.
Alexander Volkanovski threw fans immediately into speculation mode when he highlighted just how dangerous Jack Della Maddalena could be for Islam Makhachev.
Islam Makhachev is going to be fighting Jack Della Maddalena. How do you think those two match up?
I think Jack's fight against Belal was a perfect fight for leading into that. Just purely, you take a lot out of stop and takedowns, because again, every fighter's still going to have little doubts that are going to creep in. I'm sure Jack was going through that, being like, all right, worried about, what if he takes me down and all that. But the fact that he was able to stop it and feel so comfortable, I guarantee you he's leveled up again. His confidence in his takedowns has just went up significantly leading into this fight. I think his confidence is going to be at a whole nother level. So through camp, I guarantee you, if he's back in training right now, people trying to take him down are going to find it almost impossible. Only the top guys are going to have a chance of taking him down, and they're going to have a very hard time even holding him down.
From Volkanovski's perspective, Jack isn't just another contender. He's a fighter who blends technical striking with the ability to stay active under heavy pressure. Even when opponents try to drag him into wrestling exchanges, his confidence has been growing after successfully navigating skilled grapplers in the octagon, and Volkanovski believes that combination makes Jack uniquely capable of handling the threats that Islam could bring, making this matchup far from straightforward.
Jack Della and what he did him with Belal is he will, you get people that are worried about the takedown, so and then they don't fight their fight on the feet. I'm gonna fight my fight and worry about the takedown when it's there.
Exactly.
And that's perfect. You need to be like that. For me, with Islam was I'm gonna do my thing. Yeah, I'll be worried about it, but at the same time, find the shots to go in, boom, boom, boom. But I'll worry about the takedown when they're
later
there. But
on,
I'll still
once
commit
you
to
realize
things.
you can handle it, then you were just like, fuck this shit, I can handle it.
And the confidence Jack Della is going to have now from getting through that, even though he's going to be confident. And then there's another one when you're successful with guys that are very dominant there. When you have the success there, then all of a sudden you're like, okay, now you end up even that much better at the takedown. And then he's going to do a lot. We're actually going to get a bit of training in and that as well. Obviously he's going to do
over there.
Hey?
You going over there?
He'll probably come over here, or maybe we'll get we'll see. I might even go over there, whatever they want. I'm happy to do whatever.
I'm just so happy, man. I'm so proud of him, because then it's like,
Khabib Nurmagomedov reinforced that idea by pointing out that Jack may actually present Islam with his toughest challenge yet. Khabib compared Jack to Ilia Topuria, noting that Maddalena's clear size advantage gives him an edge in controlling the physical aspects of the fight. Khabib also highlighted Jack's solid grappling skills and all-around abilities, suggesting that preparing Islam for Jack would be more demanding than preparing him for Topuria.
Считаю, что Мадалена самый сложный соперник в Ислама карьере. Это мое мнение. Ни Чарльз, никто. Ни один из этих бойцов...
И даже не Илья, если бы это бой был бы.
Мое личное мнение, во-первых, Мадалена 2 раза больше, чем Илья.
Сопоставим.
Илья. Он 2 раза больше. Он выше, больше, ноги помощнее, корпус, бокс не хуже. И грэпплинг он возится очень хорошо, если вы смотрели. Для меня, если я например, буду готовить Ислама против Илья или Мадалины, для меня больше будет волновать и волнует Мадалена.
Among those familiar with Maddalena, Steve Erceg offered his own take. Erceg admitted that Jack's performance against Belal Muhammad was shocking. Not merely a routine win, but a striking showcase that stood out as one of the cleanest displays by an Australian fighter in the octagon. Erceg also noted that Jack's ability to handle grappling exchanges went far beyond expectations. He drew comparisons to Islam's fights with top-tier opponents like Dustin Poirier, pointing out that if Poirier could fend off takedowns and create scramble opportunities, Maddalena, with heavier power and sharper timing, might generate even more trouble from similar situations.
Yes, I mean, I've known for a very long time that Jack is an amazing fighter. He's really good. And he shocked me on how good he was. Like, he handled the grappling exchanges so well. And it's the best striking performance I've seen from him. Like, he just, like, the big moment, like, he rose to the occasion. It was, like, fantastic to see. And I really do think, I do think that the grappling from Islam, like, he's a better technical grappler than Belal is, but he's not quite as big. He's not as imposing. And yeah, if you look at the Dustin Poirier fight, Poirier was able to stop some of his takedown and win some scrambles and stuff like that. I feel like not only will Jack be able to do that, but when he lands punches, it's going to be way more devastating.
Fellow Australian Ian Garry echoed the sentiment but focused specifically on wrestling. He emphasized that the fight could hinge entirely on takedown defense. Jack's natural strength and size at welterweight, Garry argued, might be enough to prevent Islam from establishing his usual wrestling dominance. If Islam struggles to bring Jack down consistently, the matchup could shift into a striking contest where Jack's crisp hands and timing could shine.
Who do you think wins, Jack or Islam?
It's such a tough one to talk about. Islam is phenomenal. He's good everywhere. Size matters. When you're talking about an extra 15 pounds, when you look at the size of Volk versus Jack Della, there's a big size discrepancy. And Volk gave him a good fight. And then Dustin Poirier, it wasn't absolutely completely dominant by his time. It was a tough fight. Size is going to play a huge part. Even on the ground, I feel like Jack could get it done with just some clean boxing and good takedown defense. But I can absolutely see Islam coming in and doing what Islam does and going out there and just looks like the phenomenal mixed martial artist he is.
Not everyone shared the same level of optimism for Madalena. Stephen Thompson took a slightly cautious approach, suggesting that Jack's rapid ascent into a major fight comes with risks. While he acknowledged Jack's clear potential, Thompson wondered whether stepping up against a fighter of Islam's caliber could disrupt the trajectory of his career. There were other high-level contenders like Shavkat Rakhmonov and Ian Garry waiting in line, and Thompson implied that Jack's dramatic leap might backfire if the outcome didn't go his way.
Who do you think wins that fight between Islam and Jack Della Maddalena?
Well, first off, I gotta say, if I was Shavkat Rakhmonov or Ian Garry or somebody that is right there who's really worked hard to get there, I'd be pretty pissed. Because, you know, this guy, JDM, just got the title, and then he's giving somebody else a shot at what I've earned the right to have, you know, which is the title shot. Like, give JDM a shot at, you know, give him one or two more guys. If he beats them, then give him somebody outside the division. But I would be kind of pissed. I would be kind of upset that they're giving this guy immediately somebody from 155 division. Now, I think it's a very tough fight for Islam Makhachev. Bigger guy. Somebody who won the title from somebody with a similar style in Belal Muhammad. I do believe Islam Makhachev striking is a lot better than Belal Muhammad's, but their pressure, their cardio, their wrestling background, fairly similar. Obviously, I think one would be better than the other, but he's faced somebody a lot exactly like him. So I think it would be a tough fight for Islam for sure.
Dustin Poirier added another layer to the discussion, looking at the fight from a striker's perspective. He pointed out that while Islam's stand-up game is highly effective, it carries certain rhythms that a polished boxer like Madalena could exploit. Poirier suggested that if Jack survives the early wrestling storm and establishes a strong pace in the opening rounds, Islam could be forced to fight more defensively than usual.
Yeah, for real. Do you think he beats Jack Della Maddalena?
I think we'll find out first, second round how much trouble he has getting him down. I think if he gets those takedowns, he's gonna get the win. If Jack can stop those takedowns, which he does have good takedown defense, I think the boxing and the size could wear on Islam and give him some problems. But his striking's, you know, awkward and different. You have to worry so much about the takedown. You can't plant your feet and throw off those number combinations and really rip and sit on your punches because he's going to change levels. So it changes the way you fight. For me, it did. I'm speaking from experience. So we'll see how Jack approaches and how Jack executes out there. But if you're worried about takedowns, you know, your shots are different. You're not sitting on everything and standing in front of the guy. You're trying to move and be light on your feet. I think the first 2 rounds will tell us how this fight's going to go.
Yeah, it'll be interesting if he wins and Ilya wins, because Ilya's also saying this week he wants to go up to welterweight if he wins this, which, as you said, would stall out the division further. I don't think the other lightweights want that, but I couldn't imagine 5'7" Ilya fighting at 170.
Colby Covington weighed in with attention to the physical difference. He acknowledged that Islam would be smaller compared to welterweight-sized opponents, but stressed that Makhachev's versatility across all areas makes him a tough matchup regardless. Even so, Covington admitted that the fight carries unpredictable elements, leaving room for doubt despite leaning toward Islam. The physicality of welterweight could challenge Islam, but his ability to blend wrestling and striking remains a formidable asset, making the matchup less straightforward than casual observers might assume.
Islam versus JDM. What do you make of that? Islam moving up to now welterweight.
Yeah, it's an interesting fight. I'm excited to see how it goes. You know, Islam, is a lightweight. He's going to be a little smaller in the fight, but he's a well-rounded fighter. So, if he's able to take down JDM and control him, he could definitely get the job done. But it's going to be interesting to see how the size advantage plays a difference in the fight.
Who do you favor?
I mean, I seen the odds were pretty big. They favored Makhachev like 3-1. So I guess I got to go with the odds if they're going 3-1. But just because JDM doesn't have good takedown defense, but you never know. It's a fight, and JDM has some good hands, so it should be an exciting fight for the fans.
Jack Hermanson offered his insight into the challenges fighters face when moving up a weight class. He acknowledged Islam's dominance at lightweight, considering him perhaps the best pound-for-pound fighter at that level, but questioned whether the same dominance would translate smoothly to welterweight. Hermanson praised Jack's win over Belal Muhammad and recognized his rapid progress, but suggested that more tests were needed before fully ranking him among elite fighters.
Yeah, it's so hard because you never know when people are changing weight classes. But in lightweight, Islam looks like unbeatable. It's just like maybe the pound for pound best. He's just so insanely good. But can he do it in a weight class above? I'm not sure. Really hard to predict a fight like that. I think I still have to say Islam.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I think so. Yeah, we need to see a few more fights with Jack. It looked amazing against Belal, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's something about Islam is just so good.
Philip Rowe expressed strong confidence in Jack, believing he could defeat Islam outright. Rowe argued that Islam lacks the frame to handle larger welterweights and predicted that Jack's combination of punching power and quick recovery from takedowns could overwhelm Islam. He envisioned a scenario where Maddalena secures a finish before the fight even reaches the judges, portraying the bout as one where size, strength, and striking efficiency could tip the scales in Jack's favor.
Philip Rowe, what's cracking, man?
Chilling.
Hey, now listen, you're welterweight, you've been in the game a long time. Islam moving up to 170. Is he big enough for 170?
My personal opinion, I don't think he is, but he's a champ. We'll see when he's there. You know what I'm saying? He has a fight. He's fighting the champ. That's the best 170 in the world right now, right? So we'll see.
So you don't think he has the size, but how do you think he does in a fight versus JDM?
I personally think JDM beats him. I think JDM will be able to get up if he does take him down. I don't think he'll be able to take JDM shots. I think personally he'll stop Islam.
Daniel Cormier, who has a long history with Islam, analyzed the fight from a preparation standpoint. He noted the physical changes in Islam's body, recognizing the added muscle and bulk aimed at competing with bigger opponents at welterweight. Cormier praised Maddalena's rapid improvement and versatility, but questioned why betting lines heavily favored Islam. To him, the odds didn't reflect the competitiveness of the matchup, highlighting how much intrigue the fight carries given Jack's proven capabilities and potential for strategic exploitation.
It's officially happening, and if you've seen videos and pictures of Islam lately, he's much bigger than he was before, and he's gonna have to be bigger if he wants to get through the monster that is Jack Della Maddalena. I can listen to the words that Khabib speaks publicly, that Islam speaks publicly, and acknowledge of how good Jack Della Maddalena is. He's so tough, he's so big, he's so physical, and now he's got takedown defense to match. I believe that if you would have put this fight together a few years ago, people would have been like, oh, Islam's gonna kill Jack Della Maddalena. But now, after watching him fight Belal Muhammad, it's a much more even fight. Because at the end of the day, Islam is still the smaller guy, going up to the next weight class to fight against a world champion who never looked better.
Let's see who wins this.
Yoel Romero focused on Jack's overall growth, particularly his his fight IQ and conditioning. He admired how sharp Maddalena looked against Belal Muhammad despite stepping in on short notice, suggesting that such qualities could propel him further than many expected. Romero highlighted Jack's ability to stay composed under pressure and adapt mid-fight, portraying him as a high-ceiling fighter capable of handling elite competition if he executes correctly.
Yoel Romero gives his honest take. Yoel Romero just shared his thoughts on a potential showdown between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena, and it's a must-hear. Romero believes that Maddalena, while being a big 170-pounder, might face a tough challenge against Makhachev's superior grappling. Do you think Jack's striking can beat Makhachev's grappling?
Dan Hardy approached the matchup cautiously, recognizing Islam's greatness but questioning the guarantees of moving up in weight. Hardy stressed that transitioning to welterweight is never without risk, leaving uncertainty about how Islam would perform against naturally larger opponents. He also raised questions about Jack's longevity as a champion if he were to pull off an upset, highlighting the long-term challenges fighters face when taking dramatic leaps at competition level.
John Jones against Tom Aspinall, which is the blockbuster. I think Della Maddalena's got a bright future. I don't know whether he's going to hold the belt or he's going to lose it to another one of the top contenders and then pick it back up again. I don't think he's going to lose it to Makhachev, though. I think Makhachev holds the lightweight belt against anybody in the world, on any day, including Ilia Topuria. I don't think if he moved up, he would have much success against Makhachev. But Della Maddalena looked very, very sharp against Belal. And I wonder what Makhachev would look like as a welterweight.
Gilbert Burns shared insights about weight management, supporting Islam's move to welterweight. Burns noted the taxing nature of cutting to lightweight and suggested that Makhachev could now perform at peak levels without the extreme weight drain. However, he also acknowledged that Jack's coaching connections, particularly with elite grapplers like Craig Jones and guidance from Volkanovski, could make the fight more complicated than it appears on paper. Burns' perspective balanced Islam's physical advantages with the tactical and strategic elements Jack brings to the table.
Islam's working very hard. He's been saying vocal that he wants to go up to 170. I think he's a big boy. He killed himself to make 55. I think that's the right division for Islam. He just tweeted something after the fight that he will not vacate the title, and then he vacated the title. I don't know, but probably that was in the negotiation. Yeah, I like him moving up. I proven himself. He's #1 pound for pound right now. It's a good fight. Jack and Islam closer than people think, especially with Jack Della Maddalena doing a lot of training with Volk, with Craig Jones, those guys that kind of back the Islam on that first Volk fight. I think they're going to have a lot of info, a lot of study, a lot of answers. It's closer than people think, this fight. I really like this fight. I don't have time right now. I didn't have time to dig deep a little too much in that fight, but I think it's way closer than people think, and JDM has a clear shot on beating.
Sean O'Malley offered a broader take, considering the matchup beyond belts and immediate stakes. He saw the fight as a potential bridge to future marquee matchups, such as Islam facing Ilia Topuria. O'Malley also highlighted the unpredictability that Maddalena brings. If Jack can defend takedowns and find space to unleash his striking, the fight could quickly turn into a fast-paced brawl, illustrating how single moments could alter the trajectory of a bout that might otherwise seem methodically dominated by Islam.
Islam relinquish his belt and go up to 170. Got JDM taking on Islam Makhachev.
I still think Islam's skill for skill is just so high level. For him to go out there and do what he did against Belal was very impressive, made that Islam fight more interesting. If JDM can shut him down and throw those hands, but Islam's boxing is underrated. That dude is slick. His kickboxing, his timing, like he's a high level black belt in every aspect of MMA.
Who give him that?
Jack versus Islam, I think, is huge. Not as big as Ilia versus Islam, but who knows? Maybe they both win and Islam comes back down to 55 and the fight's even bigger.
Robert Whittaker, standing firmly behind his fellow Australian, expressed full confidence in Maddalena. He highlighted Jack's grit, composure, and striking proficiency as key qualities that could allow him to defend a title successfully. Whittaker argued that Jack doesn't need to neutralize every single takedown attempt, just enough to create longer striking sequences where he can dictate exchanges. His perspective focused not only on Islam's abilities, but on Jack's determination and adaptability, emphasizing how a champion defending home turf could leverage both skill and mentality to prevail.
As you can be.
Because I think Jack has that X factor. I think he has the gut, the grit, the determination to fight the takedowns, to fight the ground, the takedown attacks that Islam is going to go for. And I think in a striking fight, straight up, Jack is better. I think he wins
I agree
in
with
the
that.
hands.
Yeah.
I think Jack's got the better game to strike over 5 rounds than Islam does as well, especially if Islam is trying to go for takedowns during the fight. I think, and this is people sleep on Jack's grappling game. They sleep on his jiu-jitsu. I don't think Islam is going to be as gun-ho with the takedowns as everybody believes, because Jack has that level of offense off his back.
Belal Muhammad offered a starkly different perspective, drawing from first-hand experience against both fighters. He suggested that Islam's top control and relentless pressure are unmatched, emphasizing that over 5 rounds, Makhachev's style is uniquely capable of breaking down opponents. Belal argued that despite Jack's strengths, Islam's ability to maintain suffocating control will likely prevent Maddalena from implementing his full striking game over the duration of a championship fight.
How do you think Islam versus JDM goes down? Honestly, I think Islam will probably take him down. Islam's wrestling really good. Even with me, I'm really committed to it. I took it down. Their team's so good at hacking in a game plan and sticking to it.
You said that you kind of abandoned the game plan a little. You think if you got a rematch, you would change the game plan a bit?
No, I mean, honestly, I think I went through 3 rounds, but you have to go out there and make it more clear. When you get into the cage and you're fighting, right, you get into that, all right, I feel like striking it. Let's keep going. I was doing well with it. Let's keep going. If your coach is trying to get you to focus on the game plan again, it's like, man, I'm doing well with it. You're thinking you're doing better than you are. Every fight, you gain something from it, right? This fight, I gained something from it.
In conclusion, the potential clash between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena has emerged as one of the most compelling matchups in recent MMA history, with Volkanovski signaling Jack's danger, Khabib and other insiders weighing in on his unique challenges, and multiple analysts highlighting the interplay of size, skill, and strategy. It is clear that fans are in for a fight where no outcome is guaranteed. Maddalena's rapid rise, striking precision, and fight IQ make him a real threat, while Islam's wrestling dominance, conditioning, and now added welterweight strength position him as a formidable opponent. Ultimately, this is a battle of preparation, skill, and heart, where every moment counts and small margins could dictate the outcome. Fans should expect an intense, technically rich, and unpredictable showdown that could reshape perceptions in the welterweight division and set the stage for future high-profile matchups.